Right. So, there's this hidden symmetry like a mirror image between how our minds work and how the whole universe is put together. What I'm saying here is that thinking is built the same way as creation. Not just like a metaphor or a poem, but like a matching code, especially in the Hebrew language. The Hebrew words for thinking and creating, they come from these root words, het, shin, bet for thinking and bet, resh, aleph for creation, and they show us this matching structure. Both of these root words have 3 parts, and these 3 parts work together in a specific order. First, there's something like a container, then there's an energy that changes things, and finally, something new appears. To understand this, let's look at the letters themselves. The root for to think is het, shin, bet, and the root for to create is bet, resh, aleph. Each one is a 3-step process. These aren't just random letters thrown together. They're like special symbols that fit together and mean something on their own. Each Hebrew letter has its own meaning and story. Let's start with het, shin, bet, the root of machshava, which means thought. It starts with het, a letter that means something like a closed-in space, a boundary, or a container. It's like a space with potential, but nothing's happening yet. Then comes shin, a letter that means fire, change, and movement. It's like a spark that gets things going. Lastly, we have bet, which means house or structure. Here, it means the thought takes shape, something we can understand. What comes out of the container and the energy becomes a real thought. Now, let's look at bet, resh, aleph, the root used in the first line of Genesis, Bereshit bara Elohim. Creation starts with bet, the same container as before. But this time it's about the whole universe. It's the starting structure of everything, order in the middle of nothingness. Then comes resh, which means flow, growth, and becoming. It's like moving outwards from the container, the energy of God's voice or breath. Finally, we have aleph, the silent letter. It represents oneness, something new appearing, just being there. What connects these roots isn't just the order, but how they work together. Each one shows a process with 3 steps, one leading to the next. We can think of this as a 3-part cause and effect. Each step is needed for the next one. Let's call the steps A, B, and C. A leads to B. The first structure lets the change happen. B leads to C. The change makes the final result. And really important, if there's no A, there's no C. Without the container at the start, the whole thing falls apart. Think about our thoughts. Without focus, like a container for our attention, our ideas can't connect, and we can't make sense of anything. Same with creation. Without the first structure of reality, no form, no frame. Nothing can appear, no world, no being. This shows us that thoughts and creation aren't random. They follow a path from start to finish. They share a kind of grammar of becoming, in our minds and in the universe. Even though they're built the same way, thought and creation are different in size and direction. Thought is internal, looking inwards, a small-scale version. It happens inside us, organizing what we understand. It moves from what we could know to what we do know and can share. Creation, on the other hand, is outwards, about existence, large scale. It creates the world where our thoughts happen. It moves from the first form, through change, to the world we see. Thought is about knowledge, creation is about being, but they're built the same. They start with a hidden order, go through a change, and end up as something real, a thought or a world. This similarity between thought and creation is really important for lots of things. For how we understand humans, it tells us we're not just watching God work, we're joining in. The idea that humans are made in God's image isn't just about being good or beautiful. It means that when we think, we're doing something similar to God's creation. Thinking is like making little worlds inside our minds, using the same rules as the big world outside. For how we understand knowledge, it tells us that real knowledge happens when our thoughts match how things really are. When our thinking is messy or too rigid, we don't find truth. Spiritually, this makes thinking something sacred. In Jewish tradition, the saying, machshava k'ma'aseh, a thought is like an act, becomes even more meaningful. For language, it shows us that Hebrew isn't just a way to write things down, it's a system where letters have meaning and power. So, creation is the world outside. Thought is the world inside. They're not just similar, they're both expressions of the same 3-part principle. just on different scales. Both start in a contained space, the mental space for thoughts, the structured emptiness for creation. Both need an energy to refine them, the spark of thinking, the expansion of divine movement. And both end up as something real, a clear idea, the world around us. So thinking isn't just picturing the world, it's like making it happen again. It's not passive, it's active, like creation in miniature. This means thinking is sacred. It's our closest connection to the creative power of language, structure, and how things come to be. It's the image of God in us, not how we look, but how we work. To think, then, is to create. And every real thought repeats the pattern of the world.